Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John with Flippin' Ain't Easy. I am out and about right now picking up stuff, and really there's not a whole lot of stuff to pick up, but I do my weekly runs. I try to go once or twice a week to pick up stuff, different locations around the city. But man, I got to tell you, the last couple weeks has been pretty slim pickings when it comes to my sourcing. Now, what I had to do this last weekend is I actually had, for the first time, go in and run to my storage unit and pull stuff out to list, because with my refined listing now, I'm getting more stuff up, which means that my current sourcing really isn't gonna cut it. Now, I have at least six pallets worth of merchandise in my storage unit. And the thought was, when things got really dire in Q4, when it usually does, when it's really hard to get stuff to list for a few reasons. The weather doesn't really cool down here in Vegas until I'd say mid to late October. And people don't want to do yard sales in 100-degree heat out here. It's crazy how the weather will just continue to stay hot even into the fall. We don't really have seasons. We have hot and we have cold. That's it. So while it's hot, yard sales is like an option like B or C for me. Liquidation is option A, but liquidation seems to be really, it's actually starting to dry up right now. At least it seems that way. So I'm out driving. Don't worry. I'm being safe. I'm taking my time. I'm doing nothing different than if I was to watch a YouTube video. And I don't watch the video, I actually listen to it while I drive, but it's no different than me having a passenger in the car, and you're my passenger. We're having a conversation. So yeah, that's a big concern of mine, is the amount of sourcing, because I'm actively trying to grow my store, my eBay business. And this guy's a character. He's like stuck in the wrong lane. Anyway, so I'm trying to grow my stores, both stores. Now, I'm anticipating, really looking forward to getting my hands on Josh's List Easier program. Josh Galt, if you haven't heard, he's coming out, I believe, this week at some point, is what he's told us. List Easier is coming out, and that is going to be an AI lister program. And while I'm not an affiliate or anything like that, he's my friend, and I support his endeavors. And I'd like to actually see what AI can do. I have a lot of things, guys, in that storage unit. I have one full huge rack filled with auto parts, and you guys who watch the channel know that I've been hanging on to these damn auto parts for months now, and I've listed maybe one of the tubs out of like the 8 to 10 tubs full of like parts. Don't get me wrong, the parts have sold. I think half the stuff that I've sold, I think I sold like maybe 10 parts out of like the tub full of like 25 or whatever. So it's not bad, but it's sort of painstaking. And I have all these auto parts. I don't want to spend a lot of time. And now, if that means that, look, the only thing that I have to do is get in there and take photos of this lot, go through and do 2 photos of each item, maybe the box, and then removing the contents out of the box, and that's it. And I know I talked to you guys about putting more photos. And I guess I could do, let's say, assign 6 photos, just try to find 6 photos to take of that item. And then it's key that you do this with Josh's program, because you got to tell it 6 photos for every listing, and then it knows every 6 photo is a new listing. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And I don't know, like with some of these categories, like eBay Motors, you have to put a compatibility for that part. You don't necessarily have to, but it does help tremendously when you have the compatibility so the buyer knows that it fits their vehicle. And I don't know if these listing programs actually go that deep into the lister where they'll go in. That's a big time saver, because I got to tell you something. That's another problem. I can get all the base listings done, no problem with these parts, but it's the sheer amount of time you have to spend to find part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from AC Delco, what car that is for, because it doesn't say on the box. And a lot of times you have to search many websites to find a list of automobiles, and then you have to go in, do all the drop downs for every make, model, year, and then once you do that, you think, okay, I'm done. No, you're not. You have to go in and select all the trims. So like if it's 2.0 liter engine or a 2.4 liter engine, some of these parts only work with a 2.0 liter engine and do not work with a 2.4 liter engine. And half of the cars that are now available to you, you have to go in, and you're talking maybe could be 30 or 40 or 50 cars that you have to go in and select the proper one. It's just too much work with these eBay Motors options. So I'm hopeful, and I really don't think that these AI programs are designed to do this yet, but I'm hopeful that at some point that will be able to be done, because it's, and I know that I received an email from eBay saying that I was going to be in some program where they would do it for me, but I haven't seen that yet. They haven't done that for any of the listings that I just didn't bother to put compatibility with. So for me, it's I'm building the store. That's good. I'm getting more listings in both stores. But for me, it's about sourcing. And I think this is the problem that a lot of people are going to have. And I talked about this before. It is, okay, you have a faster way to list now. Where are you getting your merchandise? Now, I think this is going to open the door up for a lot of people to cheat. And I make a point when I'm building my stores not to cheat. What is cheating? Cheating is, I have a $77 now ASP. For me, it's important to maintain a high ASP. That's just part of my model. So if I am starting to want to build that store, build the number of items in that store, maintaining the same ASP or higher, then that means that I cannot have lower ASP items introduced to my store. Now, $77 is simply an average. It's not a requirement. So I know that I'm going to have, sometimes I'll have 3, 4, 5, 6, 700, sometimes $1,000 item in that store, and I'm going to have a $30, $40, $50, $60 item also in that store. It all averages out with the price of the item plus shipping to be $77 right now is my average. So cheating would be for me to go in and find a bunch of $20 items in bulk, because you probably can find a lot of items at yard sales that will fetch you $20, no problem. And adding all those items to my store and then watching my ASP fall. That's not what I want to do. Also, what I don't want to do is I don't want to put myself in a situation where there's an MC11 like Big Al. Now, Big Al, I don't think he dealt with, he used an AI lister, but he listed so intensely that he built his store up to where he was selling like a lot more merchandise than eBay was used to. And he got in some trouble because not so much that he sold more, but it caused a red flag when he had a higher amount of item not received cases. It was a red flag to the system, thinking something was wrong. So I want to grow at a steady pace. I don't necessarily need AI to build my 300 item store into a 2,000 item store overnight. That's not the point why I would be using it. What I would be using it for is, for instance, I do a lot of my sourcing online. So, and I talked about this before on the channel and the lives, but I go on and I'll buy individual items online. Also, sometimes I'll buy pallets with a manifest, and I'd like to be able to um, have a take a stock photo or the photo that the online source I'm buying from is using, and simply use that as a way to create a draft. And then once I get my item, I can inspect it, do my normal process, add the photos if it's a good item, add the weight, add the dimensions of the package, location where I'm going to store it in the SKU, and then launch, right? So I think the pain point that I have is when I go and pick up, like today, I'm picking up 25 items. I have to go in and manually create a draft for 25 items. That could take a couple hours. I mean, with the way I do it, not having the item on hand, that's the way I do it. I want a complete listing with a good item description, item specifics filled in, and it does take me a little bit of time. So I'm very curious to see if AI can help me with that part of my day. Save me, if I do 2 hours a week doing this process manually, then we're talking maybe only 15, 20 minutes. So I get about an hour and a half back on that. But again, I have a box full of Starbucks tumblers I picked up at a yard sale a few months back. I have, what do I have? I have a bunch of shoes that I could run through the lister. I have, and there's probably 2 tubs of shoes that I still have. Um, I have all those car parts, which is certainly intriguing to me, and seeing that if AI can handle auto parts, how it can handle auto parts. And we'll see, and if that allows me to take, and I guess I can classify the auto parts right now as a death pile. If I could take a death pile, which in my definition of a death pile is a back stock that you avoid listing. That's to me what a death pile is. Back stock, you've intended on selling it. It's back. There's nothing wrong with back stock, by the way, but back stock that you avoid listing for whatever reason. And I have, since picking up that lot, I have avoided listing after doing the first tub of those auto parts because of that compatibility issue drop down nightmare that I just told you about a few minutes ago. So I think this could be a tool that could really wipe out people's death pile. It can also be a tool that can help you get through your back stock, like the rest of the stuff in my storage unit. But at the end of the day, I mean, how many items, are you able to come across to really keep churning out 500 to 1,000 listings? Which is why I think it's also important that Josh offer a lower tier pricing option. So maybe it's only 500 listings for a lower price point in a month, because I really believe that some users are simply just not going to have enough stuff to list. Maybe the first run around, maybe the first month, maybe the second month. But if you are not used to just bringing in massive amounts of merchandise, let alone once you get it all listed, where the heck are you going to put it? That's a bigger concern that I have. I guess I can work harder to find more merchandise. I guess buy more pallets if I need to buy more pallets. But at the end of the day, once it's listed, where are you going to put it? Now, I have some items that are listed in my storage unit, but I don't have but 2 or 3 SKUs that are multi-quantity. I don't necessarily want to make trips every day to the storage unit because I've run out of room at home. I mean, I guess it's part of the job, right? I guess at some point that's going to have to be part of a new process that I develop. Initially, when I got the storage unit, the thought was eventually I would be at a place where every morning I'd run to the storage unit, pick up anything that's listed, and pick up more merchandise to list. That means that almost every piece of merchandise that I have to list is housed somewhere in the storage unit. Maybe the left side is items that I haven't listed yet. The right side are items that are listed. And I'm going to the storage unit for two reasons: to pick up more merchandise and to pick up sold items. And I guess, we haven't had the storage unit for but about, 9 months now. So I guess that will be something that will end up happening once I get there. I'm just not there yet. I still have room at home to store my listed items, but I will, once I start getting a lot of these things listed, like all those auto parts and the tumblers and the shoes, I'm going to need to find a place to put it once it's sold, and that's easily locatable once it's sold. So things that solve problems, we come across solutions to problems, sometimes they cause other problems. And I just want people to kind of keep that in mind. And I'm not trying to, I love Josh, he's a buddy of mine, but I just think sometimes, and I've been playing devil's advocate about the whole AI listing tool, because it's certainly a concern that I have. I've heard other people have, that I don't care what tool you're using. If you're using a tool at all, let's just say you have upped your operation, you have upped your game without AI, and you're just grinding and you're just churning stuff out, you have to keep all those factors in mind that create pain points in your business. And that's why it's so important. And I had the video that I put out, I think it was a live stream about a month ago, saying, guys, get your processes in order, because in doing so, if you're going to ramp up the number of items that you have listed, you better have a plan to accommodate not only the listing, the storing, but also the sourcing side, to keep that operation going the way you want it. So I'm getting close to my next stop, and this is the last stop of the day. A lot of times I'll do 4, sometimes 5 stops in a day, and I just don't like it. Like I could go one more place today, but to pick up one item, and I think I'm not going to do that. I think what I'm going to do is I will wait until maybe later in the week. This one place, you have to go in and get the stuff yourself. I mean, you have to literally go get a cart, one of those flatbed carts, find the aisle, and the thing doesn't push. You got to pull the damn thing. Find the aisle. Just gonna see. It's like walking into the last scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they're pushing down they have the ark all boxed up and they're putting into like some warehouse. Well, that's kind of how I feel when I walk into this place. And then you have to go and locate what rack it's on, and then you have to match the number that of the item that's on your rack. And sometimes it could be an item that's buried under like 2 or 3 30-pound boxes, and you have to get down in there and pull it out, and it's a royal pain in the ass. But I mean, when you need merchandise and you're looking for things to sell, well, you got to do what you got to do. And I just think that, heck, I'm just trying to maintain status quo. Yeah, I've ramped it up a little bit manually, but I can just imagine implementing, if that's even a word, implementing AI into my processes. That's going to cause me to really have to figure it out. And it's a good problem to have, I guess, because I think a lot of these things we talk about, if you build a store, more items equals more money, right? But are you prepared for the logistical problems that come with that? That's my message to you guys today. Are you prepared for the logistical problems? Are you, of course, willing to take on more returns? Heck, I've been adjusting my auto parts listings, and I think half the items I'm picking up today are auto parts. Free returns, guys. 15th is the deadline. Otherwise, your items are not going to be visible, I believe, on eBay. That's your auto parts, where they most of your auto parts, not all, but almost like 90% of your auto parts now are going to have, or accessories, are going to have free returns to the buyer. So I have to go through all my listings and do that and take on more returns. And that means someone who might have thought, I'm not so sure if I like this, let's say, aftermarket car stereo, that, the $10 shipping might just make them say, you know what, I'll keep it. I don't want to pay for the return shipping label. But now that it's free shipping, you know what's going to happen. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm pulling in here. I'm going to get some more stuff. But keep that in mind. AI, it's going to cause some pain points. And are you ready? Hit the like button, subscribe. We'll talk to you later.
Is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that is within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast. Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. Mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, will your guide. With flipping ain't easy by yourself. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast. Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the